Hey guys, can you guys hear me? How's my audio, guys? How's my audio? Awesome. I'm just testing something out here for a bit. Let's just see if I can chat here. All right, it works. Awesome. This is a little bit better than yesterday already. Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys traded safe, guys. We're gonna be doing some giveaways today as well. So be at the ready. I've got 2 giveaways to give out. I'm probably gonna give it into intervals without between the hours here. So just an FYI. So I got about, let me just double check here because I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. I do have 2 different accounts to give away. So I have one today, just so you guys know, is the E8 accounts. I've got one of those to give away with you guys. And then on top of that, I also have a Lucid account to give away today, guys. So I will let you guys know as we get throughout the night. This is day number 2. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate the support as always. So let's take a look at the market here. I will look at the chat box in a bit here. I'm going to go through the chart first and take a look at what we're looking at here. So for first and foremost, guys, like I mean, we've been trending, guys. I think we've had a poll going on talking about whether or not we were going to hit all-time highs, and we're getting up there, guys. We're getting up there. I really do think we're going to get there by the end of the week, which is going to be insane to think about that, but it is a possibility. Coming into today, I'll tell you this right now. If I was to short the market today, I'm keeping it very low expectations. I'm probably going to be like shorting like 15 points or something like that. Like I'm not going to go for anything crazy. Otherwise, I'm really looking for longs. Now, it doesn't mean, as always, we got to be open-minded to all scenarios here. But personally, for me, I don't want to short. So I'm going to be watching, right? And I think some key thought points to watch for now is, as from a range perspective, I always like to look at the prior day here. So let me just draw a box here. So if I take a look at this range right here, that in itself, I'd like us to stay above here. At any point, at any given point in tonight's session, I'd like for us to stay above this. Now, I do find that often over Asia, we do find price to retest back to where we opened. And so that's very much a plausibility, which I am going to mark that up for us here as well. That's about right here. Give me a second here. Where's that spot? Right there. This is essentially where Tokyo opened today at that line drawn here. So I'll just mark it out so you guys can see it. We got the Tokyo opening here. We got the Globex down here. And so right now on the 2-minute time frame, it looks like we've broken structure with this downward move. On the 5-minute time frame, we've also kind of started to kind of push downwards. Now we got VWAP here, which generally I like to look at VWAP kind of like a dynamic area of interest or a dynamic level. And Ron G, what's going on, brother? I cannot believe it. Do you not sleep, man? It is insane that you are still up right now, bro. But yeah, if I were to look at that, we got that. But on the 15-minute time frame, guys, technically speaking, we haven't had a higher low yet. So really, this could be the higher low that we're looking for. So what I personally would want to watch for, because I want longs naturally. I don't want to short this kind of crazy of a market. Like we've got so much strong momentum in our favor. It almost doesn't really make a lot of sense for us to short. So I'd rather patiently wait for a long trade. So you got, as I kind of mentioned, I would like to see maybe if we could come back and tag this Tokyo Open. Maybe that might act as a very nice higher low for us. And I might look for an entry there. Ideally, maybe like a 5-minute failure to go lower, something like that is probably kind of what I'm looking for. So let's just see if I were to do something like a long position, probably something like this, risk maybe what, like 20, let's say 25 points. And we'll shoot for about 25 points as well. Either 25 points here or even 50 if we want to aim for the high of day. And that's just kind of like what I'm thinking at the moment. So we'll gauge. I don't like to get married too much to a bias here. I'd like to see what happens and what opportunities are offered to us. Right now, we're bouncing off the VWAP on the 2 minute, but I always tell people don't get too caught up in the 2 minute because it can really wreck you. Yeah, man. You know something I'm gonna start doing, guys, because like I'm just reading the chat here. You guys who follow me on Instagram already know I'm a big foodie. I love food. I'm really starting to think that I'm gonna bring something to eat and something to drink into all of these streams, so that not only am I gonna be talking about the trading markets, I'll talk to you about the delicious food and drinks that I'm having as well. I love food. And I honestly eat anything, man. Like as long as the food does not move, I'm good. And I know that seems very silly to say, but there are a lot of exotic places that like eat like live octopus and stuff like that. Like I draw a line, and for me, as long as the food is not moving, I'm good to try it, man. Yeah, man. Love to eat, man. I love to eat. I've actually slowed down a little bit on posting on Instagram as of late because I just got back from my vacation in China. So I think I went like overkill on like putting content out there while I was there. So yeah, just getting caught up in the rhythm of things with business and in trading, and getting caught up with the students as well lately. So yep. Let's see what we got here though. So we got what? So we just opened here right now, 10 o'clock. Let's see, what does the hourly candle look like right now on us? So we just closed off an hourly bearish candle here, and we're pushing down now. What does the 4-hour look like? 4-hour, we still got another hour left. So, part of it is also just kind of seeing what we could do here. I mean, you could look at it. We've had a lot of strength pushing up. Yeah, I stand by the fact that I'm really looking for longs. Like I can't imagine it otherwise. You can kind of see here on the 4-hour time frame as well. If I were to, let's just say, kind of just draw out something here, and it's just more so again for visual, right? Like if I want to come back down here, if you take a look at that, right? That's, what is that? 26,377. That is literally, if you take a look at it right now, so 26,377, guys. That's literally right here. That's literally this box here, right? And so earlier I made the comment that I'm looking for that prior day high area. So I'm really just kind of like, if price does come back down here, I really would expect a bounce here. And so I have to be very patient, right? Because everything we form in the smaller time frames will make up the larger time frames as well. So we'll see what that kind of looks like. Let's just double check. I'm just gonna read the chat here for a bit, guys. Got to get caught up because you guys, like, holy crap, you guys went on. What's up, guys? Yes, let's get those rolling. Yeah, nice lucid. Let's get chat. Keep going through. Danny, thanks for tuning into all of the streams, man. Appreciate the love, man. Oh man, Lonely Trades, you there too? What's going on, brother? Let's see. What up, gang? Food in China is amazing. I will say that Beijing is like my least favorite, and it's honestly because air quality and food was so greasy there. But like Shanghai, Guangzhou, food was amazing. So cheap, guys. Like, just perspective, I guess I'm assuming most of you guys are from the US. And if not, maybe even if you're in the UK, you measure by pounds. Like a bowl of noodles and like a bubble tea, okay? Measured on Canadian currency, to guys, just perspective here. A bowl of noodles and a bubble tea cost me basically like $3 Canadian. And so for you guys in the US, that's like $2 US. I can get a bowl of noodles and a bubble tea for $2 US. Like that is insane. And the food is so good too. Honestly, like I was telling Leto this actually the other day, that if I lived in China as a day trader, I would live like a freaking king. I would live like a king. Like honestly, like I don't want to make it, I don't want to downplay this, but like all I would need is like literally one payout, 150K payout a month, and I could live good out there. If I can stack that on 5 accounts, man, I am living like an absolute king in China. Yeah, food's good though, man. Food's good. All right, let's see. Yeah, guys, if you guys haven't already, please drop a like and subscribe, guys. It really helps. Follow along for the journey, guys. We'll try to always provide value and content to the gang, not just trading, but everything. I'm a very well-rounded individual, guys, and I'm really trying to not sound very egotistical or arrogant in any way. Business professional here, so business professional, psychologist. Like I'm not a I should probably say it. I'm not a psychologist, but I am heavily educated in psychology, and that had to do with a lot of my corporate career and all that type of stuff. So anything that you want to talk about, man, I think I would like to believe I have some value to add to the conversation. Yeah, let's see what we got here. Just running through the chat. Just running through the chat. My metabolism is on high as you think it is, man. I've got a little pouch here now. Okay, I wear hoodies for a reason, so you can't see it. And when I'm in a suit, man, I gotta make sure that I button up my blazer as well, so you can't see the gut there. Let's go. Let's go. I have no idea what that rabbit Instagram is in regards to bubble tea, but I probably don't want to watch it if it's gonna ruin it for me. Turkey, eh? Yeah. I have to say right now, I'm 2 for 2. I saw that comment, Leto. I am 2 for 2 for Asia. Last year, when I went to Taiwan, Singapore, and Hong Kong, I had my record run with Top Step, making $125,000 in payout in 1 month. And then this recent time as well, I also had a pretty good month. Not as big as, actually, no, probably about the same, actually. I essentially accomplished the $61,000 in payout with Lucid, and I also knocked out another 50 grand on Take Profit Trade Pro. So overall, that's 2 times I've gone to Asia, and I've had a really good trading period. So I would say the hours are pretty awesome. Uh, Elite Trades 294. Sorry, I don't know if I may have missed your original question. When you asked, I know what it is, but I'm asking you what the main psychology trading rule is. Was that question for me? Just double checking, because I will answer that if that was for me. Yeah, that M&Q series, man. I honestly I won't do that again, to be honest, because like as a person who knows how much I can make on the market, it was painful to just trade M&Q. But honestly, I want to prove a point that if you could be consistent, disciplined, simple strategy, stick to it. It may take a little while, but getting a payout in 1 month or once a month is still better than blowing accounts and cycling through things, right? So definitely, if you haven't watched my M&Q series, definitely worth a watch. How much do I risk per trade? I'm a point based trader, so I don't base it on dollar. And so for me, generally speaking, if we're talking like 20, 30 points, that's kind of on average what you'll see me risk. From a dollar's perspective, if I were to put a dollar around it, generally speaking, on any given account that I have, I like 10 shots on the market. So hypothetically speaking, if you have a 50K account, it usually has $2,000 drawdown. That would mean that I wouldn't risk more than $200 per trade, because that would give me 10 losses back to back in order for me to blow the account. Hopefully that answers the question, man. I speak a little bit of Cantonese, but I just tell people I don't speak English, Cantonese at all. I don't want to embarrass myself. When I'm in a restaurant, I can order in Cantonese, but that's as far as that goes. No, man. If you're going to Taiwan, honestly, a lot of people there actually speak English, Daniel. I don't think you have to worry about that too much. But honestly, when in doubt, Google Translator, man. It's your best friend. How do I determine stop loss? I think I guess I didn't really answer that question yet. In terms of stop loss, guys, like I mean, there's so many ways to go about it. Sometimes I like to use levels. Sometimes I like to use market structure. So for example, like right now, right, if I were to enter a trade, hypothetically, if I were to enter a trade right at this very moment in time, I'd probably keep my stop loss below this Tokyo Open, for example, if I were to use that as a reference point. And I kind of go from there. Otherwise, I would, if I'm like patiently waiting, I might even want to wait until I get down to Globex here, because I have a level here and Globex opening print. So maybe that would be kind of like a stop loss. Generally speaking, I want to have some sort of a reference point to use with a few points beneath it, so that it has room in case it ticks into it. Swam Mike, I think this question was asked last stream as well, but to keep it short and sweet, last year averaged about 30% expense ratio. This year, I would probably say somewhere closer to 10%, 15%, maybe at most. And essentially what that means, for those who are curious what that means when I talk about expense ratio, that basically means that I am, for every, $100,000 I get in payouts, if I'm saying 10%, it means I spent $10,000 on prop accounts, or in terms of all the fees and all that type of stuff, right? That's essentially what I'll average now. Yeah, I'm looking for a long setup, guys. I am. Thanks, Sanchan, about the M&Q series. Oh, how much size? Oh, sorry. Size wise, yeah, I trade minis, guys. But I just think if you're learning, especially if you're new to trading, I don't recommend minis. Like you're putting yourself through a lot of pain for no reason. Because again, one mini that on 200 bucks, that's basically 10 points if you think about it, right? So that's not a lot of room for you to trade with. So generally speaking, if that's the case, like using that $200 rule, if you watch the M&Q series, I use 3 micros and I risk 30 points because that's about $180 with 3 micros on NQ. And so that usually gives me enough of a batting average. Hopefully that answers your question, Mobex. What's up, John? It's on my direct YouTube. I don't hold on. Can I do this here? Let me see if I can type that in actually. I think it's just at Azheng Trades. If you just type that, if you just go on YouTube at Azheng Trades, YouTube / at Azheng Trades. Does that work? I don't know. Something like that. Oh, there you go. Thanks, Frank. Trying to like manage the trade chat and all that at the same time. So I like the way that we're kind of pushing up here, but very risky candle here on the 5 minute, because these bars did close beneath VWAP. So for all I know, this could come right back down after tagging the 90 EMA. Generally speaking, a short up here would have made sense because I like that 90 EMA cross, and we also broke that little bit of a support range there. So anyways, I'm gonna hold off for now. I'm not gonna take anything just yet. She trades micros. I love it, man. I'm glad it's been helping you out, man. What's up, Kenny Bobek? Hopefully you're putting that new that eval you got yesterday in the giveaway to good use, my friend. Yeah, see, Ron knows exactly what I'm talking about, right? Like he's such an experienced goat of a trader, and he doesn't even use minis. Like you got to remember, like go at your pace, right? Don't do anything that's gonna hurt your mentals. You just got to know your risk management on that, right? Honestly, and the question about my R multiple, I generally average about 1 to 2 R, and I say that because most of the time that's what I'm shooting for. But I only go for more than that if the opportunity presents itself. It's rare that I shoot for more than that, especially since I trade the Asia session so much. It's not like this massive trending week. It's not common, right? As you know, if you've been trading these sessions lately, they're not as easygoing as normal. Yeah, no, I like this. I do like this. I'd like to get a candle close at least, guys. If we're gonna get a long, I want at least a candle close. And this would still be within my risk parameter right now. You can see here, right? Like we're still below the VWAP, below the Tokyo Open. I'd be open to this, but just remember, guys, right? From a structure perspective, we're putting in lower highs and lower lows right now. Obviously, when you take a look at the larger time frames, we're literally just putting our first higher low. But if you look at these micro time frames here, right? We are putting in lower lows and lower highs. So I really want to make sure we get a nice 5 minute close above here before I think about taking an entry. I don't use the 1% risk rule. Actually, I know that that's a very common rule. Like I said, I guess if I were to use the comment I made earlier about the 10 bullets in the chamber, I guess that would be what, 10% rule. I guess that would say, which is very high if you think about it. But again, I'm in a different place in my trading too, right? So I think you guys have to take that for what it is. If you're learning, the more shots you have, the better, especially if you're still finding your edge. I think that once you've like figured out like what's your preferred strategy, maybe then you can size up a little bit and risk a little bit more. But yeah, it's not recommended, to be honest, to be taken super high risk in the early days. Let's see how we doing. Got 40 minutes left of this hourly candle. So that depends, guys. Like I think that that question about how many points. So that's a very good question, guys. How many points and profits do I look for? That all depends on what the session offers. So if you take a look at the overall day to day, my guess is that we're probably between 100 to 120 points of move so far in the session. So let's take a look here. So if I were to gauge the low from here and move it all the way up to the high, how much are we looking at? 118 points. Okay, pretty close. So we moved 118 points. Generally speaking, I'm not looking to catch more than half the move of the entire market, right? So I don't personally go down that path. Like I wouldn't go more than 50. So that would basically what that means that if the market has moved already 110 points, I'm not going to shoot for more than 50 points likely, right? Like I just don't think it's reasonable to shoot for more than that. So that's why like if it was a 2R trade, this would probably make the most sense. But because of where the chart is already, to play, if you really want to play it safe, 1R is probably what I would go for, just because 1R already keeps you at the high of day. So I like that 5-minute close. I like the way that we kind of engulf those prior bars. I don't mind taking a stab right now on this count. Let's give it a shot. Let's see where we go with this. So this is a 1R trade, gang. 1R trade. So right now, this is one of those moments where like, do I really want to be a prick for a tick? Like I'm literally setting my target right at the top part of that wick. So it is a little bit dicey, right? Generally speaking, like I know some people get a little worried about like affecting their R multiple, but if I really had to, like, just to be safe, I'd probably move it to even 24 points right there, just so that at the very least I'm beneath the tick. And again, who knows, this might not even be enough, but we'll keep it as is. This will be a 1R trade though, guys. So let's just see where we go with this. Yeah, I echo that, Ron. I agree with you on that. It's very different. I think if you had if you had your own capital and all that type of stuff, it'd be a very different story. Because I think prop firms, to a certain degree, it's like, don't get me wrong, I don't think with prop firms you should just full port size trades. I don't think you should ever really do that. Like, again, to each their own, obviously. But like I look at props as a way for us to build our edge, right? So if you're new, this is your chance for you to figure out what you like and don't like about the markets and find your rhythm with that, right? In terms of like experienced traders, right? You probably got to size up a little bit more, but this is probably for you to where you can refine your edges. I mean, that's what I did, right? Like Ron knows me from like the MM6 days, right? Like I used to trade Tesla all the time on options, and I did fairly well with that, I'd like to believe. But when I came to prop firms or futures, it was a little bit more of a learning curve for myself. So I actually had to humble myself and come in there as a student again and rebuild it, right? So yeah, prop firms are cheap, but they add up fast. I will say if there was one thing that I learned in my early days when I was trading futures, was that I didn't take prop firm accounts seriously enough, because we're like, oh, usually I lose like $400 or $500 trading options on Tesla. A prop account's only 150 bucks. That's easy. What's the harm, right? And that mentality actually really killed me, because later on, like I remember my first month of trading futures in August, I remember calling Jake. I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, because like how did I go from like killing it trading Tesla options to blowing account after account every single day? What's wrong with me, right? And I had to be reminded that, in the end of the day, if you could just focus on trading the chart and stop focusing on the money. And I know this sounds so like this sounds so counterintuitive, but it's a true fact, right? The better it will be. And that's honestly when I became better, was when I realized like, hey, you know what? Like I'm just gonna focus on how I used to trade Tesla, and I'm just gonna forget about these prop accounts expenses, right? And so that really did help me a lot. So just wanted to just kind of share that thought process with that. Um, so yeah, in terms of evaluation phase, I mean, use it as a form to build up your edge, man. Don't rush that process. Unless you have an edge, then have at it. Jake, I may have already done it already, but yeah, I like this 5-minute close. That was kind of nice. If this 15-minute can close bullish as well, then I really do think I'll get some continuation on this trade. But we'll see. I mean, for all we know, this can rocket right back down again too. But I do like the close though. Like this is looking good so far. Um, Baljeet took the shorts. So Baljeet, I'm just kind of curious. Had you left your position, would you have hit 30 points, or was moving your stop loss the right call in this case and scenario? A psychology tip, Oscar. I'm going to come back to that. I am going to absolutely come back to that when I have a chance to like dive deeper into that. So I'm going to write that question down so I don't forget it. Just because this chat is moving so fast, can't keep up with it. One psychology tip. Okay, I'll answer that question in a bit, guys. Oh crap! Drop my book. Oh. Okay. Scalper. Yeah. I'm not a big scalper myself, just because I don't really know how to scalp actually. But I don't want to say I don't know how to scalp consistently. I should probably say that. I've been trading with one micro spend until I get some consistency. $25 winning days have been good for me. Yeah, Frank, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? You gotta build that up. Yeah, I know Suave futures. It's hard. It really is hard, right? Because obviously, in most cases, people who are coming to trading, you're looking for money, right? I mean, I get it. Like it's kind of like a job, right? You go get a job or you start a business. Of course, you want to make money. Like that's kind of the point, right? But I just know that like you have to have more than that to really get through it. And I can say that as an entrepreneur as well. Like, could I be in tech business? Could I be in the retail business? I could. I know how to, but would I enjoy it? Not really. Like I love food. I mean, I think I made that very clear. I love food. So I surround myself in the restaurant industry because I love food so much. I'm doing what I love and I'm making money while doing so. So trading is kind of one of those things. So you almost kind of need to fall in love with the craft. If you can't, if you don't love what you do in trading, then you're gonna find that you're gonna fall out of it, right? And you're gonna get distracted very easily and give up because of the money that comes with it, right? So yeah, the auto stop loss thing, I will show that as well later on. I just when I'm not in a trade, I'll do that later on. Auto entry template. Okay, just writing that down so I don't forget. Some of the stuff I really want to get back to for you guys. Um, yeah, I know it's hard to take the prop account seriously. I get it, man. I get it. Books to trading. I mean, there's so many like trades out. Sorry, there's so many books out there that people love. Like, give me 1 second here. I'm actually gonna like grab some of my books here. Give me 1 second here, guys. All right. You guys know this Bar by Bar book by Al Brooks. So I know Jake has his version. I actually prefer this version more than others, just because I like the way it breaks down. So you want to learn all about bar by bar reversals, you got book number 1. You want to learn all about trading in the ranges, you got book number 2. You want to talk about trading in the trend, you got book number 3. So I personally like this collection more because of the fact that I like how it breaks it down for you. Because the original bar by bar books, and I'm sure anyone would tell you the same. I think Jake has said this before too. It's a pretty dry read, to be honest. So unless you like love it, it's hard to fall in love with it. Oh, got you, Baljeet. No bueno. Gotcha. Gotcha, Baljeet. Fair enough. Thanks, Anshan. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, Trading in the Zone is a very common good book as well. It's good for like the mentals type of thing. I think there is the mental game. Is it? Oh man, I forgot what the name is called. Mental game of trading. I feel like I'm like reversing those words around, but yeah, there is one like that too. I generally like doing audiobooks too because I drive a lot. So I like to listen to the audiobooks. Obviously, unless you need the charts, it's a very different story. Yeah, AJ, man, I do like the 15. Let's close this. This bullish engulfing is exactly what I want to fish. That's a good 15-minute close. I like that. I like that. TX from Singapore, man. What's up? Ah, nice, nice, nice. Hey, we're getting the move, guys. We're getting the move. Whoa, ho, 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 ho. Let's go, let's go. Come on, give me the move. I don't know if anyone's in this. Is anyone in this long with me right now? I know I didn't like really stress the emphasis on my trade, so all good if you didn't get into this. All right, let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on. Don't reverse on me, man. I don't need a reverse rocket here, guys. Let's go. Hit TP. Yeah, Frank, I don't blame you, bro. Mental game of trading. Thanks, AJ. I knew I was like I feel like I'm mixing those words around. So AJ, was that question about fibs me? Is that question for me or sorry, I just want to double check because I don't have fibs or I don't think my levels are above all time high. At least I don't think so. Oh, nice. You hit TP already, Ron? Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Yeah, I know it's hard to not be a prick for a tick, but sometimes, man, like I've had trades, and I actually like posted this on my IG story the other day. I literally played it with the Backstreet Boys. I think it was Backstreet Boys, like playlist in the background. Don't play games with my heart or whatever it was. But yeah, man, sometimes if I find that I'm just consolidating within points of my profit target, depending on the situation, I'll close it out because it's like I don't want to be a prick for a tick. Like this trade right now, I'm fairly content with it. I'm okay. I'll leave it as is. I'm not gonna micromanage this trade. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you took TP already, that makes sense. Like I said, I did make the comment earlier, right? I said that because I'm setting my TP here, it is risky because the wicks are here. So, I actually talk a lot about this actually with my students. I say that like if you're looking at market structure, take a look at it, right? Like the reality is that like the safer target would have been down here, uh, which is essentially where Ron took it. So honestly, good on you, man. Like that was like really spot on. That's just a safer spot to take profit, right? But that also means that if that were the case, though, like if you're just talking from an R multiple perspective, I'd also have to risk less. So like if I'm going to shoot for 20 points, for example, because I think that's what that was, right? 20 points. Give me a second here. Yeah, that was literally 20 points on the money. So if I was going for 20 points, that means I have to risk 20 points, which is still going to work because technically speaking, 20 points would have been beneath the bars here. But for me, I just, as a person who uses the 200 EMA quite often for trading, I'd just be worried that it would come back down and tag the 200 EMA before it continues moving. That's why you can already see right now, right? Like, let me zoom in here. I mean, this that 20 point spot is literally money. Like that would have been the spot to unload your position. So, but I'll leave it as is. I'll leave it as is. I'm not gonna micromanage this right now. Did I have issues with over leveraging? Yeah, man, absolutely. Trust me, man. It happens to all of us. There were periods of time where I was like, oh man, I'm doing so good. I'm like godlike. I got this, right? And I started like sizing up like 5 minis, 6 minis, 7 minis. Honestly, man, like you got to find what works, what size is healthy for you, and just kind of go from there, right? Like I wouldn't push it. And so I'll by the way, for like education purposes as well, like this in this situation, sometimes when I see like a 2 minute doji like this, and I'm just gonna close off the box now. When I see a 2 minute doji like this, if I really, really want to micromanage the trade, what I would do is I would move the stop loss just right beneath the wick, like that. So then that way I would, if I get stop loss, then I get stopped out. And what would that have been worth to me actually? That would have been 12.5 points, 13 points, give or take. It's half of what I would have wanted from the trade. That's the thing too. And again, like sometimes you just gotta give your trade some breathing room to move. So I am just gonna leave it to be honest and see what happens. But that's just the way you could probably like if you don't want to be a prick for a tick, you can kind of do that as well. Yeah, AJ, I don't have any levels above above the all-time highs. I'll move stop to break even. Like, honestly, based on this specific trade setup, it makes no sense for me to move it to break even. Like, there's just not enough room for me to move it to break even. And even then, I think it's unsafe and unwise to move it to break even, guys, because where structure is, it can very likely come tap my entry and go back up. And so for that reason, it just doesn't make sense for me to move it back to break even. And I'm sure many of you guys have felt the pain of that, right? Getting hit for break even and then it just launches afterwards, right? It's like the worst feeling of all. And then the worst part about that is that then you degen because now you're so annoyed that that happened that you're gonna then chase a trade next, right? So it's just not ideal. Just running through the chat, guys. Sorry. Yeah, I don't copy trade. So right now, the counts I have left, basically because I'm either capped out or I'm in cooldown period, it's Top Step, it's Take, Profit Trader, and I think that's about it at the moment, right? Right? Yeah, that's it. And then my funded futures are waiting to be moved live right now, assuming that I can. They still need to figure that out. For those who do not know, tuning in for the first time, I'm from Vancouver, Canada. Most platforms, brokerages, don't actually allow to trade over here in Vancouver, so I haven't been able to move live. So my funded futures are being paused to move live, and Lucid, I'm in the cooldown period because they couldn't move me live, but I capped out with them. So basically, after the cooldown period, which is by like May, I'll be able to start trading some funded with them again. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll be scooping up some accounts again and rinsing their prop. Give me 1 second here. I'm just gonna Instagram. This is my Instagram, guys. For IG, if you guys want to follow me there, I know you guys have asked some questions around that. Also, when I do my giveaway later on, that's actually going to be where I'm going to be needing you to DM me anyway. So it's probably a good idea that you have my my Instagram. So, question of have I ever wanted to start my first account, my own account? Sorry. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I think that it's more so just about a tax thing for me, right? I've thought about it. I might do a live account just for content purposes, to be honest, just to share with people what it's like to like live trade with your own money. I mean, I do that with options all the time. It's nothing crazy, but I think for futures, it could be something I can absolutely do. But it is a tax thing for me. Thanks, man. Appreciate the follow, Swell Mike. Indicator. I guess Rye Guy. Are you looking at this one right here? Because this is the 200 EMA on the 2-minute time frame, and then the 200 EMA on the 5-minute time frame is like down here. So the 200 EMA, unlike the VWAP, it doesn't follow you. So it will depend on what time frame you're looking at the 200 EMA. Just FYI. Sup, Corp Trades. Yeah, I mean, I am essentially targeting Asia highs. I purposely lowered it a little bit actually, just because I don't want to be a prick for a tick. And technically speaking, this is kind of prick for a tick at the moment too. So we'll see. We'll see. Trade WAP. You don't have Instagram. I'm sure there's other ways to do it. I don't know how else we would do the giveaway, but I'm sure my man Ranji could let me know and share. I don't know how else we do it. I guess if it was Discord, I guess you could probably do that too. TP there. Well, a little bit. Why my TP there is a little bit based on like where the high of the day is, but then also from a market structure perspective and also risk management perspective, right? Like I don't want to take a trade for like 0.5 R. So for me, at the very least, it has to be 1 R. So if it's not even 1 R, I'm not gonna even take the trade, right? So bias of London sessions. I don't really have a bias. I find that like every session has a role to play. Like I look at it as like every session is like reading through the pages of a book, right? And so every single session is gonna have its role to play. And so what happens in one page or one session, so to speak, is gonna build onto the next one and so on and so forth, right? So I definitely would recommend that like if you're trading any session, always look at how price respected in the prior session because it generally has some weighting going into the next one. Now, it's probably going to be harder to find that weighting when we're because of how hard we're just trending upwards. But back in the day when we would have those little ranging days or back and forth days, the prior session would be a fairly important period personally for me that I would recommend taking a look at. In terms of the reason for my stop loss, I have my stop loss there because again, it's a structure thing for me, right? Like that's where we essentially held and bounce. And so for me, it's below the candles, but it's also below the EMA there for me. So it's just a little bit of both. Trigger for the entry. So what we saw here was that we came down, right? And we had a nice pullback hold on the VWAP. I want to see the 5-minute close back above VWAP and ideally closing behind, wow, I cannot talk tonight. 5-minute bar close that engulfs and takes out the prior bars. That's essentially what I was looking for. So I really like that 5-minute. And so afterwards, once I saw that we did have follow through up as well, I took my entry essentially. Like right now, guys. So this is one of those very critical moments, right? People will ask, Alan, you are so close, right? You are so close. Let me see. You could have just taken profit 3 points before your target. Why not take it? You could. Nothing wrong with that. I think that if this was like depending on the amount of size I had, like let's just say I went into this trade, I had 3 minis because like for perspective, guys, when I full size a trade, I run 3 minis. If I had 3 minis in this trade, yeah, I'd probably trim here. I probably wouldn't be a prick for a tick. I'd be open to trimming here and then letting the rest of it run. Ooh, my journal process. That's probably a whole YouTube video in itself, my friend. I journal everything, right? From setup to my emotions, my psychology, sentiments, news, anything that particularly contributed to that trade, I journal it. So it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's why most people don't journal, to be honest, is because it's just so much work. I always say like my metaphor to it all is kind of like everyone wants to be the heavyweight champion and in a boxing ring or whatever that may be, right? But no one's willing to put in the work that goes behind it, right? Going at the bag, running laps, strength training, all of that, right? And that's what I look at as journaling. Journaling is boring, it is tedious, it is tough, but it's necessary. I didn't get to where I am as a trader by just swinging the fences and hoping it works out. Unless you have an eidetic memory that you can remember every single trade you take, sure. I mean, maybe then you've got an edge. Your edge is you have an eidetic memory. But for myself, I mean, I have a pretty good memory, but even I myself can't remember everything, right? So like I think journal is a very important practice for that, man. Leto, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Glad you were able to lock in a win there. Are you wrong for wanting to hold for higher highs? I mean, that's expectation again, right? I think that what are you looking for, right? Is it more important for you to get this big swing of a move, or how much do you really need out of this trade? Like, are you trading the chart? Are you trading because you have a trading profit target you're trying to hit? I think like you need to understand obviously kind of why you're taking that trade to begin with. That will help you define whether or not that makes sense, right? Yeah, psychology is huge. Yeah, no, I mean, you can handwrite it too. I mean, I don't think there's a special way. I mean, I think this day and age, if you're not using technology to journal, I think you're kind of missing out. I think there's a lot of things you could do. I have students that use Excel. I have students that use Notion. I use Notion for business, so I used to use it as well. There are plenty of trading platforms out there as well. I use Trader Stats. I use Trader Sets because it's cheap. I think it's like 20 bucks a month, like which is very, very cheap, all things considered, and it does everything that I need it to. So I mean, you can always hit my DMs and ask me those questions as well, because I feel like that's something that's a lot more to elaborate on, but there are a lot of different options you can do for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think that to the comment about like, no harm in trailing, you're right, man. There's no harm in trailing your stop loss at all. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I personally, the only reason why a lot of times I don't trail my stop losses unless the bar tells me I probably should, is mainly because of the fact that like I find that if I micromanage the trade in any way, I also have to journal that. I'll have to note down, why did I move my stop loss? Why did I manage it the way that I managed it? All those type of things, which can sometimes affect your expected value as a trader. So unless that's your strategy, that makes sense. Like I actually have a student, and he just actually locked in a, how much payout did he lock in? I need to double check. I don't even remember anymore. He messaged me today. Give me a second here. He's done really good for himself too. Um, where did he post it? Oh man, I'll bring it up later. I just know that it was at least like 2 grand or so per account. So he like locked in like 10K payout. And for him, he's the type of trader that he dynamic trades, right? So he'll size into a trade, for example, like he'll start with 10 micros, trail off 5, then add 5 more, then trail off 5, then add 5 more. Like he kind of does that. Oh, 13K. Yeah, you're right, Eric. Oh, okay. Yeah, then you knew what I was talking about. Um, so he does that, right? And so he's been successful doing that. And so I think that what that means is that sometimes you'll look at his trades and you'll be like, whoa, like your trades are so messy. Like based on your journal, it looks like you've taken like 200 trades today. Like, well, that's insane. And it's because he's scaling in and out, especially during these uptrending days. I mean, he could literally take 200 trades because he's scaling in and out. So if you're a dynamic size trader, then yeah, I think that there's value in doing so, right? Like you just got to make sure that your journaling is built around your dynamic size trading. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate the kind words, man. Yeah, I know. I know Claude is like, I hear that name everywhere now. I haven't dabbled with it as much, but I know a lot of entrepreneurs are using Claude right now. It's huge. Yeah, I mean, if you're handwriting your journals, yeah, probably. I think that like for sure your entries and your exits are important. But I mean, hand journaling is so hard, man. Like I'm not telling you saying that you can't do it, but there's just so much information you're not including when you're handwriting them, right? Like what's the chart doing, where your levels at, EMAs, like I don't know. There's just so much, right? Like it's hard. It's hard. Yeah. And yeah, I do. I do. And I think that like, thanks Rob for that question about mentoring, right? I do. And so I think that there's a stigma around classes and all that type of stuff, right? Like I for myself, I think that my students can probably vouch. Most of my students are probably asleep right now, which I don't blame them. But I think there's a fine line between buying a class, which I still think there's value in that. Like I know that there's a lot of stigma around that, which again, I understand why, because I think there are a lot of people out there who have taken advantage of people, which is just very unfortunate. I always say, even in business, right? Like, the bad ones kind of ruin it for everyone else. Um, but for me, it's like, yeah, you're gonna learn my system as a class, but like that's not even like the main thing. I think that a lot of people would be like, oh, why should I pay for your class? And like, it's not even that. Like, if you don't even want to learn my system, I don't even care. Like, that's not really why you're working with me. If you're working with me, you're working with me because you want me to refine your trading. So whether you want me to show you my system or whether you want me to help you refine your trading, it doesn't really matter. It's just that when you come with me, you're essentially getting both, right? You're going to learn how I trade, because I'm assuming that's where the curiosity lies. But after that, though, even if you don't trade my style, I've got people who trade ICT. I've got people who trade using Bollinger Bands. Like it really doesn't matter, right? Like in the end of the day, I look at it this way: if I was an MMA fighter coach, yes, I'm gonna dabble in everything, right? But I might not be the best at all of those fighting styles. But at the very least, I would know how to condition you as a fighter. I would know what kind of regimen I gotta put you through to get you ready for a fight in the ring, right? So, anyways, just maybe not the best analogy, but that would be my analogy to that. Hopefully that answers your question, Rob. I know I sometimes rant. I apologize. I don't trade metals, guys. I know that you got silver. Like gold was like the closest thing I used to trade for metals. I don't trade them as much anymore, um, just because they've become quite crazy and hard to trade. But yeah, I mean, I think that's they've got they've got something good there. Like silver and oil, I don't think I can do that. I've done gold before. I actually posted on YouTube before. When I was trading platinum for a short period of time, that was insane. I actually like that was really insane because I actually had what was it? I had a $23,000 trading day trading platinum on Top Step. I think I posted that on YouTube before. And it was insane because I literally had 3 minis and I longed and that thing like literally took off and it had like zero pullbacks. So that was like an insane day. That was like a 23K day on Top Step. And again, with any prop firm that doesn't have consistency rule, it's amazing to have. Yeah, just so you guys know, Baljeet is one of those students that I have. She actually posted on her Instagram lately. She secured her first payout of this year and secured a payout last year as well. And she's only been trading for 8 to 9 months, and she had no knowledge trading prior to that. So I think to each their own, right? Sometimes you're going to be, sometimes you're going to be, brand new or you're very experienced. Either way, I mean, I think we all come from different places, right? So. John, I had a good run with it, man. I don't know if I can trade that anymore though, man. Like I'm just gonna take a look somewhere else here. I don't want to change the chart that's in front of us right now. Let's take a look at platinum. What does platinum look like right now? Platinum. A second here. Hey, target hit, guys. TP hit. TP hit. That's 500 bucks. Was that 500 bucks? Yeah, that's 500 bucks. Locked in. Let's go. Hopefully you guys were able to get a dub on that long there, guys. Whether you scalped a little bit or whether you took the whole trade, 25 points locked in. Not too bad. So if you think about it, right? Like we had a 110-point move on the market, 25-point trade locked in. You essentially caught 25%, 23% of the market move right there. So it's not too shabby, man. Not too shabby. Sorry, got lost my train of thought here. Platinum. Yeah, I can't trade platinum, man. That's gross. Have you guys seen the platinum chart? Look at this. What is this? Look at these needles. Look at these needles, guys. Look at these needles. No thanks. No thanks. All right, just get catching up with the chat here again. My ranks, Dad. I mean, I am a banana, so I like to say that I'm Asian on the outside and very much white on the inside, so that counts. Nice, Jason. Way to lock it in, man. Way to lock it in. W's, W's. Night owl. Night owl. You missed out. Don't chase, okay? Don't chase. Don't chase the trade, man. You're on a good green streak right now. Don't psych yourself out, okay? Do not chase the trade, Night Owl. I mean it. Yeah, guys, can you guys drop some likes, guys? It helps me a lot. Don't make me be the one streamer that like apparently no one likes to watch. Don't make me into that guy, guys. Don't make me into that guy. Otherwise, I'm gonna eat my sorrows away. I'm gonna eat my sorrows away. Not that I need an excuse to eat, but you know. All the indicators on the chart. Yeah, man. Yeah, Tails, no problem. So basically, these are nothing. There's nothing proprietary about these indicators that I have. Just so you're aware, these solid colored lines here. I got the 9 EMA here. I got the 20 EMA, the 50, and then the dotted line here is the 200 EMA, and then this yellow, the solid line here is VWAP. Those are pretty much the only indicators that I keep on a chart, and then I got my volume here. That's pretty much it. Thanks, Jake. Much love, brother. Yeah, question mark of all time high. Yeah, we're totally going to all time high. I would be shocked if we don't. With the way that we're moving right now, it's kind of hard to not think that. But I do share one sentiment. I think Ron said this on his stream yesterday. Um, we're bound to get a pullback, and the pullback's gonna be hard when we get it, right? Like it has to be. We can't move this much on the market and not expect some sort of a pullback. Yeah, appreciate it, visionary. Nice, Dragon Knight. Let's go. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, man. I know this is a ungodly hour for me to be trading, but for those who are new, kind of tuning in, I'm a big family man. I got business, I got entrepreneur, I got business partners that I work with. So I owe it to them to, to work on their growth and work on everyone and be present, be a present dad, husband, all that type of stuff. Right. So that's super important to me. Also my mom and my grandma, man, like they're old. So I got to take care of them too. So this time of the day, even though it's like not ideal for me to trade, it's the best time for me to get in front of you guys. Like I can't trade, I can't, because when Jake asked me, he's like, hey, like pick any time slot you want. Honestly, this was the only one I could do because everything else, I got to make sure like my kids are asleep now, my wife's asleep, everyone's asleep. So this is my time to do this with you guys. So yeah, man, I hope that the value is there and that you guys are learning something, right? Because I do feel like I have a lot to offer in this arena. But I always say too, right? Like, a lot of people will learn and read a book, but we all take something different from it. So I just think it's important that like whatever you do something with it, right? Because I can give you this advice, and if you do nothing with it, then it doesn't really mean anything, right? Much love, Ron. Love you, brother. I'm from Vancouver, Vancouver, Canada. So I'm on the west coast of the Great White North. That's what they call it. Yeah, man, Mr. Black. I mean, I think everyone's got different trading styles, man. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. I'm not familiar with all the terminologies, but I start to learn when I hear them talk about things like fair value gaps, and I can't remember the one that's called fair value gap. Is it inverse? I have no idea what that means, but like order block. I don't want to butcher it, but I know those are all those type of terminologies. But I think all in all, it all kind of sounds the same to me. I mean, higher lows, lower highs. They're just different terminologies to categorize a specific trade, right? I don't sleep as much as I probably should, so I probably shouldn't answer that question. YYZ. Why does that sound so familiar? Is YYZ, is that Edmonton? Is that Edmonton? Is that Calgary? What is YYZ? That's gonna bother me now. Oh, that's Toronto. Bro, you should be asleep, man. It's Toronto. It's like 2 a.m. for you, man. Thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate it, man. Much love. From one Canadian to another. Yo, man, being a dad is hard enough. A single dad, props out to you, Ivan. Much love, man. I know it's tough. It's tough, but watching your children grow and being able to contribute to their growth, it's like the best thing. Like I'll tell you right now, I remember when I was in my corporate career, I was developing so many talents, getting them promoted, moving them from place to place across the country. The one thing they always asked me, was like, Alan, would you ever get like what would be considered your top of the top protege person you've ever developed in the corporate executive world? And I would give them all my answers, but I would always tell them like the biggest test of development was my own children. If I could get my children to instill my values as a person when they grow up, and that we actually have a relationship where like we can connect with each other, he can confide in me, all those type of things, that's like the pinnacle of like mentorship right there, right? So hopefully my kid will be able to understand that 10, 20 years from now when he grows up. What do I think about shorts on gold? I will take a look at the gold chart in just a second. Australia, Aussie, what's going on, brother? From down under. We're the Great White North, and you're from down under. Ron, I never realized you were so close to Toronto, man. Damn. I gotta hit you up next time. Singapore in the house. Yeah, I've got a few Singapore students, actually. I've got like 3 students from Singapore. I don't know if you're one of them because I don't know everyone's YouTube names either. Okay, let's take a look at gold. I know that was a question. All right. What's gold looking like right now? Okay, okay. Bearish hourly close there. Holy crap, it's 11 o'clock already, man. Didn't realize what time it was already. Okay, hourly close. We got a double top kind of forming here. Triple top, kind of, honestly, to be honest. I think there was an entry for gold here, actually. It's a little risky to take it now because we're like at VWAP right now, but I don't know how much you guys risk when you guys trade gold too, because it's a very, different kind of asset to trade. Yeah, I'm not sure if there was enough R here to take that trade though. I haven't looked at the gold chart for long enough to give you my personal opinion right now. Like, what are we doing here? We're just slowly grinding up, eh? Interesting. Yeah. Ron, I agree. I have the daily chart. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to long this right now for sure. I mean, the way that we opened up here, like you can kind of see here, the way that we opened up here, we like basically like wicked the opening bar of prior day, and we're just kind of pushing down, right? So yeah, we'll see what we do here, man. I don't know. Hard to say. Hard to say. I don't have really a bias on gold at the moment. But it's for me, it's hard to short above VWAP though. It really is. Very hard to short above VWAP. Netherlands. Oh. The VWAP is regular. It's just the regular VWAP. So there are some people use the anchored VWAP. I just use the regular VWAP. So there's different kinds. Man, a lot of you guys from Florida, eh? You guys have a lot of benefits living out there too, from what I understand. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I remember, like, I think we all go through this, guys. Like, I remember struggling to trade trend days. Like, I used to struggle trading trend days. For whatever the reason, I just always told myself it can't go any higher, right? Right? Wrong. It can absolutely go higher. And I think that that alone is a mindset we need to remove. I think that there's a lot of people out in the space that will just keep telling themselves that it just can't go any higher, and it's just not the right mindset to have. Like, look at the chart, trade the chart, man. See what's there. I think that's what's really important at the end of the day. Don't let your emotional bias get in the way. If you want, like, in the end of the day, it's kind of like you shouldn't even go into a trade without a plan. So if you just open your chart and be like, oh, it's going up, let's just long it. That's not really a strategy, and that's not a something that's sustainable for you, right? You know what? We are at the hour mark now here. So give me a second here. I just gotta pull up my giveaway code so I can figure out what my giveaway code is. Give me a second here. All right. Yeah, different conditions, man. All right, guys, I am going to do another giveaway, guys. So first and foremost, whoever's just joined, drop a like. Drop a like, guys. Drop a like. It would mean a lot to me. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel as well, both here and also my personal one, please do. Like, means a lot to help us out here. And I'm just getting this set up here. Give me 1 second. Please give me like, oh, you guys are spamming already? No, not yet. Okay, give me like 10 seconds, guys. I am just gonna get something set up real quick here, and then we will get going. Okay, cool. All right, guys, here we go. Spam the chat. I'm going to pick a name at random. WWDOs, whatever you guys want. Text anything you want. Spam the chat. Let's go. Who wants it? Who wants it? Who wants it? I'm going to get 10-second countdown here. Run it, run it, run it, run it, run it, run it, run it. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Okay. I think I got a name here. Whoever this guy is. Winner is this. Winner. I got it already. Stop spamming, guys. Stop spamming, guys. Stop spamming, guys. I know it's probably lagged right now, but I got the winner already. This is the winner. So whoever you are, please DM me on Instagram. I will send you my Instagram here. That's my Instagram. That's my Instagram. DM me on Instagram, please, and I will send you the 50K account. 50K account? Yeah, 50K account. That's a 50K account with E8 markets. So that's a different prop firm. Just FYI. Congrats, man. Congrats. So Tails, your VWAP, when you get it, by default, it's gonna have multiple lines and shadows. You just gotta go into the editing. So here. So when you go into your VWAP, your styles here, you're probably gonna see this. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing right now. Just you have the upper band and the lower band and bands. You just turn these all off. Turn these all off and just keep VWAP on, and then choose whatever color you want and choose whatever kind of style line you want, and it will look like mine basically. Hopefully that helps. I don't know if that answers your question, Tails. Try that out and let me know if that works. Robert, in terms of size-wise, man, 50K, 150K, really what you're doing here, you're just talking about drawdown, right? It's just drawdown. That's what it comes down to. So the way I look at it is that when you're trading evals and profit targets, the 50Ks are just the easiest because almost in all prop firms, the 50K accounts are actually the one that have the best ratio. So it's usually like a $2,000 drawdown to a $3,000 profit target, which I mean, I don't want to say it doesn't get easier than that, but it's true, it doesn't, right? But with all the other props that are like 100K accounts or 150K accounts, those are usually 1R. So it's usually like your not 1R, maybe that's not the right terminology. It's like 3K drawdown for 6K profit, or 4,500 drawdown to 9K profit target. So the 50K accounts are just the easiest to pass. But once you find an edge and you know what you're doing, it's hard not to go 150K. I don't want to quote Jake, but I'm pretty sure he shares the same sentiment as me. I like the 150Ks because I like the drawdown for it, especially if I'm the type of trader that wants to risk and hold for larger moves for anything. I need the drawdown to get me through it. So I know, what a push, what a push. That entry was key, guys. We could have kept holding, but I'm okay. I'm okay. I think it's so important, guys, like when we talk about like session expectation here, guys, like for me, I take my piece of the pie and I walk and I'm good. Oh, great, Tails. I'm glad it worked. Oh, so Kenny, the bottom right-hand side. So I have it click on, so adjust for contract changes. So basically, right now you can see that I have an on NQ1 exclamation mark. If you trade like on NQG, NQM, NQH, or whatever it may be, basically whenever contracts roll over, you having that click means that it automatically accounts for it for you when it does the rollover. So for me, when I chart my levels and I chart everything, I always keep that on. Personally, that's how I usually do it. Yep, that's the continuation, AJ. Did you, by the way, AJ, did you close it out or are you still, oh, you got runners. Nice. Let's go. Good dub. Good dub. Yeah, that's true. Right on, Ron. You know what I'm drinking right now to keep myself awake, guys? I don't know if you guys can see this. Can you even see this, actually? The branding is pretty light, actually. You probably can't see that. This is Hey Tea. For you guys who are on the Asia side of the continent, you probably know what this is. They had a BOGO today, so I went to get two of these drinks today. That's my tea beverage to keep me going tonight. No, I do not usually trade these hours. So even I'm learning how these hours are working for me, but it's okay. I actually, you know what? Prior to this, I never streamed. Believe it or not, my stream yesterday was the first stream I've taken in my entire life. I don't stream. It's not my thing, and then the reason why I don't stream usually it's because it's hard for me to commit like a dedicated time like this to like talk to the chat and like and then trade and do all that. Like it's hard for me to find the time to do that. So for me to commit to this, I mean, I again just shout out to Rake Trades, man. Jake Ricci, you the man for as he says, he's brought together the Avengers here, right? So if it wasn't for him, honestly, I don't think I would have even done this. So I appreciate you guys for the follow, for watching. And yeah, man, shout out to you, Rake, when you watch this video. Yeah, Leo, I left my TP as is. I just kind of let it run, and I got what I wanted. It's just a regular view up, guys. Yeah. Oh man, David, you're missing out. Project 365, man. Literally right now, we stream in the morning, we stream during Power Hour, we stream during Asia with Ron G, and then we stream again, I think in the later periods. I feel like I'm missing a session, and then it's me during the London session. There's like 5 of us. So yeah, we got lots of sessions going on. So if you, basically we're just trying to cover off the map so that we're tuning in for everyone. Yeah, drop a like, guys. Drop a like. Nice job, Posh. Yeah, I am. I am MM6, MM 6.0. I met Jake Ricci, or I found him, I should say, probably technically back in the when I first started because he was a moderator for someone else. And then when he started his own thing, I moved on over and I basically said, you know, I want to learn options. So I moved on over to him, saw how things were going, took his mastermind, and then pretty much, yeah, our relationship kind of built from there. I actually met Jake Ricci for the first time live back in 2024. I actually flew down to New York to go meet him, and honestly, such a good guy. I'm like, I think you guys, for those who know him. He's an amazing dude. And by the way, Jake is freaking tall. If you guys have never seen that man before, he is tall. All right. I remember I walked up to him in New York and had zero expectation. He came out of the bar and I gave him a hug. I'm like, holy crap, this man is tall. You can't tell probably on the videos, but dude, he is. Ah, FOMO. Yeah, you know what? Fear of missing out. I do want to touch on this topic actually. Um, give me 1 second here. Sorry, just got a little bit distracted. I got a message from someone. Yeah, in terms of like FOMO. So I think just in life in general, the concept of fear of missing out is it's funny because like even like my kid has it. Like my kid will not like he will not go to the bathroom for the pure aspect of he doesn't want to miss out on whatever's happening. um I think what we need to understand is the mindset of abundance, right? Like in life you're always going to feel like you need to do something. Whatever's drawing that need for you, it's coming from a place. Obviously it could be a subconscious thought that maybe you've had some sort of, like, I don't want to sound like a therapist here, guys, but you maybe you have some sort of trauma, you've had some sort of experience in life where you just felt like if I didn't partake in this or I missed out on this, then for whatever the weird reason you believe that it's like the end of the world for you, right? I think it's important in life is that like there's the mindset of abundance. We're all trying to find some level of success in life, right? And I remember telling the people that I was developing in the corporate world, and for you guys who have your jobs, this is like just a mindset for you guys to think about, right? When I used to develop people, they used to come up the ranks and they used to always ask me, "Hey, Alan, is there a way that I could get promoted? Can I become this manager? Can I become this, corporate leader or whatever it may be? Is there a shot for me?" And my answer always is there's always a shot for all of you. And I don't and people used to be like, "Oh, Alan, you're just saying that because like you're the boss or whatever." And it's like, no. I want you guys to understand when I got promoted and I got moved into my corporate career, I was the youngest person in its company's history to achieve that corporate role. And not only that, I don't want to play this whole like race thing or anything like that, but there weren't a lot of Asians doing what I was doing at the time, okay? So it was a really big deal for me to have been the youngest and then also the few minority to actually have been able to do what I did. So when people ask me, is there opportunity? Absolutely. More often than not, when it comes to why certain individuals haven't achieved what they wanted, it is because they have self-sabotaging thoughts, and maybe they don't have the resources or the opportunity. There are so many reasons for why certain people don't get there. And that's actually the reason why I thrive and why I love being an entrepreneur working in the restaurant industry, because the restaurant industry is the largest employer of youth in the world. And so when you think about it, that is the playground for me to be able to help shape and refine the future, right? And so that's why I do what I do. It's because I love being able to say, hey, you know what? You're you're young, you're driven, you want more. Let me show you the blueprint. Let me show you the roadmap of how to get there. But you got to put in the work though, right? I can show you whatever you want me to show you, but if you don't put in the work, you're never going to get there, right? And so I think that, sorry, I don't I promise I'm not going off on a tangent here, but coming back to that comment about the FOMO aspect, right? Is that if you're telling yourself that that is the only trade that you're going to be able to get, that's the problem. For some odd reason, in your mind, you've told yourself that there's no other trade to ever take after this. And that's not true. It might be the only trade this session, it might be the only trade today, but it's not the only trade forever. So why are you in such a rush? Just think about this, right? And that's the reason why I talked about the M&Q series. I showed that yes, it may take 12, 18 days to pass an account, to get paid out. Would you rather be the guy that blows their account every other day and then gets one payout after like 2, 3 months? Or would you rather be the guy who doesn't blow any accounts, survives for 30, 45 days, and gets your first payout ever? Yeah, you may have taken forever to get a payout, but at least you didn't blow 1,000 accounts along the way, right? And that's why some of the students I've been really giving shout outs to is like some of them are saying to me like, hey, I've had this account for 60 days and I haven't gotten a payout yet, or whatever it may be, or maybe they got their payout and they're like, oh man, like I only got one payout. It's been like 3 months. Look, I think all the experienced traders in here will understand, if you got a payout in 3 months, you're killing it, man. You're killing it. Because in this racket, it is so hard to do that. It is so tough to do that. So you just got to remember, right? And that there is so much in the market. Don't get caught up in the weeds. Don't get stuck in the mindset of this is it. Because I'm telling you right now, your accounts are worth so much to you. Take care of your accounts, treat them with a level of respect. That's why we always say only take the setups that make sense. Don't just take it for the sake of taking it because you have some arbitrary goal of, I want to get my payout. I got to hit my minimum trading days. I got to hit this. I got to hit that. Does not matter. All right. So don't FOMO, right? That's again, I could go on honestly like forever, but I guess that'd be like my first 2 cents on that topic. Thanks for asking the question, Ron. That's a good question. Hey, trades with micro, you had it for 3 weeks, all good. Keep working at it. The way I look at it is you're still ahead. You're not dumping additional money into an account. You're not blowing accounts after account. You're on the right track. Stay focused, right? Don't let the noise distract you. Absolutely, it would totally destroy your mentals. Look, guys, people who are saying push your evals, like if you have an edge, sure. Like let me, I know I keep saying this, but let's just say this, right? Let's just say I am a VWAP trader. I'm giving you a very hypothetical scenario here, okay? I'm a VWAP trader. I will take every trade that taps the VWAP. If that's the case, then yeah, sure. I'll full port 5 minis. Let it run. Let it run. Let's see if I can hit it, right? That makes sense. I get it because you already know you have an edge and that's your edge. So you want to get past, get funded, and get going. I get that. But if you don't have an edge, you don't know what you're doing yet, what's the point of getting funded in one go? Like, what is that going to do for you? You're just going to blow it when you're in the funded stage, and it's going to even be worse for you because then you're just going to go through that repeated cycle, right? So it just doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense, guys. Yeah, Rye Guy. That is the reason why there are certain props I like more than other. Lucid Trading, man, banger, right? Like if you haven't traded with them, I totally recommend it. They don't have their monthly subscription thing. It's just one time fee, and you blow it, right? So I think if you can see at the top part of my banner here at the top, you'll see all the different prop firms up there. Lucid Trading is absolutely one of them. I think code RT right now would actually get you 40% off at this moment. If you've never traded with Lucid before, I don't know if they're still doing this, so you can check it out. Excuse me, sorry. You can check it out. I think it's like 50% off if you've never traded with Lucid before. So that's one account that I definitely recommend that has no continuous resubscription. And it's truly no subscription, as in like, even if it's a new month, you're not having to close the account and start a new one. It's literally, you could trade it for 4 months on that same one cost. So it's totally worth it. It's never too late. It's never too late, Callan Brook. The way I look at it is that everything you did got you here, and that's all that really matters, man. Rain Miller, you described literally every single trader in the space, man. I get it. It's so hard. You just got to be able to get like not let that stuff get to you, man. That the taste of the finish line really gets to you, man. I get it. Yeah, cartel trades. I mean, I think that there's a lot to unpack there, right? Like, I think without knowing who you are as a trader in great depths, it's hard to really understand, what's the cause. Jake's done a lot of videos in the past about this as well. Like, if you go for higher R multiple, you'll generally have a lower win rate. It's pretty common, but that's also why that if you are a high R multiple trader, you can't micromanage your trades. You got to let them run, because otherwise you're literally trying to be a high R multiple trader, but you're not allowing it to run its course, which just means that you're just going to be losing constantly. Like you're losing for no reason, essentially, if that makes sense, right? Otherwise, then you have to become like a 1R trader type of deal if you don't if you think the high R multiple life is not for you. A premium group. Do you have a premium group? Skumar, I'm not really too sure what that means. Maybe ask that question again. Yeah, E8 is one of the up and coming guys. I've seen them before. I've never traded them with them myself either, but I know a lot of people who are using. One of my students actually traded them right now. They're copy trading 5 accounts with them. I think they're good. I mean, they pay out from what I've seen too. So I would give them a shot. See you later, Jason. Take care, man. Thanks, Eric, man. Appreciate it, brother. Ron G. Oh, pay Discord. Well, you can click on our bio, right? I mean, we do got our Discord. I believe I'm still getting my channel up with Rigs, but yeah, you can feel free to drop in, man. I mean, you can follow my link tree or whatever. I think it should all be there. I need to double check if I updated everything properly, but it should be there though. But follow me on IG, man. Like you can hit my DMs as well. I'm not big enough yet, right? On IG, I don't have like 100,000 followers, so I'm usually pretty good about getting back to people. I might not get back to them right away, but I'll usually get to back to them in a day. Yeah. Oh, is it really, Ron? Well, that's awkward. I think I need to set it up myself then. I didn't realize that. I'll take a look at it after the stream. What a move today, guys. What a move. I might have to go to the browse channel part. Yeah. Oh wow, you're right. Awkward. Thanks, Ron. That was a derp move on my side. So guys, look at this, right? Isn't this interesting? Remember that like channel that I kind of drew off of, kind of like a range? Look at that 5-minute candle just did there. It wicked literally the top of it, right? This is the reason why I do pay attention. Like I'm always asking myself the question, right? Are we ranging or are we trending? And like understanding kind of where price is moving at that time, it helps me kind of collect my thoughts on how I want to digest and take the next trade after that, right? I wouldn't say that I would long this immediately, but this is one of those type of trades sometimes where like if the setup looks good, I would long that 5 minute failure to go lower, and I would kind of scalp and move up, right? If there was a scalp opportunity to be had. The only reason why I'm skeptical about moving any further right now is because I do have some spots here I'm watching. Like I have a reference point here at 26,493, 26,498, and then I have a level at 509. So we're coming within this territory now where I'm expecting some resistance, right? So this is the boring part about trading, but it's like the important part. I have to wait. I have to wait and see how price reacts when we come up here to decide whether or not I want to do anything with it, right? So give me a second here. Search for something. Sorry, I am back. I am back. I had to just do something really quickly there. Thanks, Callan. I appreciate the follow, bro. Yeah, we do. Both Ron and I do 101. So just hit our DMs. Hit our DMs, Cartel. For anyone who's watching, like you can always do that. You don't always have to feel like you have to like pay for like a full-on mentorship class or anything like that, right? Like one-on-ones work perfectly fine as well. It just comes down to what it is you're working for. Here's how I look at like coaching and trading, right? It's like you can either look at it from a perspective of like, hey, I want to pay once in a while for a time spent with someone, or I want someone on retainer. So I look at it from a business perspective as well. Like I have restaurant clients that I work with where they say, hey, Alan, can you do me a favor? Could you go out there and conduct a market analysis and provide me all the intel I need to make a good business decision for my restaurant? Sure, no problem, right? And I'll whip it together, boom, boom, boom. Here you go, flat fee, one-time fee, all done, right? But then I have some individuals who really want to work with me long-term. Like for me right now, I have one retainer client that I work with. I'm with them all the time. So they call me, I'm always available. Like I'm basically there like I'm a business partner to them. And so I look at mentorship the same thing. You want to book one-on-one calls? No problem. If you want to work with me constantly, that's different, right? There's going to be a different cost associated with that. But generally speaking, very, very similar. And I don't want to speak for Ron as well, but I'm assuming we may share similar sentiments like this as well. That you can absolutely look at it as whatever. If you're booking for the longer time, it's generally going to be worth more than booking your one-on-ones, because your one-on-ones will add up over time, right? If you're So it really depends on where you're at as you're trading. Is I guess my long-winded way of answering that. Yeah, I get it, man. I get it, Chaz and Trades. You're 100% right. That's the reason why I said it really depends on what someone's looking for. But yeah, hit the DMs, man. You always can. How do you market levels or AOI? So areas of interest, levels, I think those are all like it. I mean, that's the levels is part of the mastermind, right? So if you aren't already part of the Reg Trades Discord, it's actually in my link, my bio. I think it's also in this YouTube link as well. But if you join the Discord, you actually have access to all the videos. So you can absolutely do that, and it'll show you exactly how to mark levels. As far as areas of interest goes, that's something very unique for me in particular. But if I were to kind of like summarize it, I mark them out on hourly levels or hourly timeframes, and I'm just looking for key areas that I like. So they're very subjective, and I truly mean it when I say it's subjective. If you ask my students, they'll say the same thing. It is subjective. It's not as binary and not as obvious as like a level, where a level is a little bit more very black and white, if that makes sense. It's 11:30 already. 30 minutes until the London opens, guys. All right. No problem at all. I actually did not use VPN at all. And the reason why I did not use VPN is because I've been told that technically VPNs are not legal there. At least that's what I was told. So I actually didn't even use that. I just kept my plan as is. So that also meant that there were restrictions for what I did. So my recommendation is anyone who ever visits China, by the way, guys, I would recommend, like, again, this is my personal preference. I'd go two phones. I keep my regular phone so I still have access to like Discord, WhatsApp, Instagram, like all the stuff that I normally use with people. I don't want to give that up. I would take a second phone and I would just get an eSIM on that second phone so that I can have a China phone number. That way you can access everything. And you might think to yourself like, "Oh, why is that important?" If you ever visit China, their technology is well ahead of our time. Well ahead of our time. Like on their one app, like one of their apps are called Alipay, you can literally book a car, order food, pay for things. Like there's so many things. It's all from one app, right? And the thing is, if you have a Chinese phone number with them, so in this case, this is where the eSIM comes into play. You can access all that. So just life becomes so convenient. So I would definitely recommend having a second phone personally. London Open generally actually has pretty good activity. So in prior market sessions before Callan, if I were to look at Asia and London, I find that London often retraces Asia quite well. So like if like say Asia trends, London will wipe that move out. If not wipe out the move, it'll wipe out half the move. But these days, I mean, we've just been trending up. Like my yesterday session was pretty like meh. Like today was actually at least we're moving up. Yesterday we were kind of ranging. Like if you take a look at the yesterday stream that I had, like it was kind of like meh. We were just literally chopping back and forth, right? So this consolidation kind of led to the major run up over the New York session. But yeah, but this is a little bit better though. I mean, at least we're getting a move. We're getting a move. No, man. As much as China was great, I don't think I could live there. Not my cup of tea, man. Not my cup of tea. I'm looking forward to visiting Japan soon, though. I've got a lot of plans. You want to know where all my prop money is going outside of helping out family and all that other stuff? It's traveling the world, guys. It's traveling the world. I have so many places I'm looking to hit up. There is a chance I might hit up Florida this year, actually, near the end of the year. Originally, we were planning to go LA, but we might hit up Florida. So for those in Florida, if I do hit up, I will post it on Instagram. So if you guys want to do a meetup, I totally would. But next year, I'm going to Paris. I'm going to France, and I'm going to Italy next year. And then at the end of the year, I'm going to Vietnam. And then the year after that, I'm going to Japan. So I got a lot of trips planned, but looking forward to it, though. I'm looking to at least do an international trip once a year minimally, possibly twice a year. Because I love food, but then also I think in terms of like life adventures, I think the education you can get from traveling is like unmatched. And have I said I like food? I love to eat, man. So it's great. Carson, if you're the same Carson I'm thinking of, what's up, man? Hope you're feeling better, man. I actually have no idea where that is. Oh, that's part of Italy. Oh, I did not know that. So, based on your response there on Orthodox Dro, you're from the south. Wow, no way. You're in Bari? I will absolutely be in that area, just so you're aware. My best friend, he's actually from the south as well. So when I go to Italy, I will be there. So absolutely, I will. If you follow me on Instagram, when I share that I'm going to Italy, just let me know. I'm absolutely going there. Yep. Yeah, my best friend's from the south as well. He just came back from with his family, and he was telling me how it's like the north is so overrated. And for anyone who's in the north, I mean this with no disrespect, but my best friend had said that he likes the south way more than the north. So wow, that's amazing, man. Yeah, Evan, that question, absolutely. I think like honestly, I think that a lot of new traders just think when they look at people like, Ron, Mitch, Christian, myself, and Jake, and they just think like, oh, these guys must have just got it. Honestly, so not true. All the things that you guys go through, fear of loss, micromanaging trades, degenning, like everything you can think of, we've been through all of it. And some of it, to be perfectly honest, some of it doesn't ever just go away. I actually always tell people that, like, you know, your tilt never actually goes away. You get a little bit better with managing it, but it does not go away. Anyone who tells you that they don't tilt ever is like, no, they're lying to you. They have to be lying to you, man. Because, you know, sometimes all it takes is just a fragile point in your life, right? You could just have a really rough day, not feeling the best, and honestly, it happens, right? So yeah, it to all of us it does. My biggest loss that I ever had, it was trading options, and I am like, I don't feel good about it, but like out of transparency to share it, this is back in 2024, I think it was 2024. Yeah, it was. I had a hot streak. I actually remember, I didn't share this actually with Jake and Ron at the time. I remember January of 2024, I had a really consistent month. I turned a $5,000 options trading account and I grew it to 15,000. And this, mind you, I wasn't really great at trading options yet, right? But I did it, and I remember posting it in Rake's Discord and saying like, "Hey guys, you know, shout out to Ron, shout out to Jake, and all that stuff." And then I had a good month of February as well, and then March came along, and I just got overconfident. I got overconfident, right? Because I grew that $5,000 account into like a $28,000-$30,000 account by the time that I got to March, and I lost half that account in 2 trading days. I literally, what took 2 months to build, I lost it in 2 days, all because when I experienced that loss, I couldn't accept it. I just couldn't accept the loss that I took, and I just kept trying and trying, and it's like I'm gonna short and then it goes up, and then I'm gonna long, then it goes down, and next thing you know it, I'm out like 15 grand over the course of 2 days. So yeah, it's not fun, but that was probably some of my worst. Take care, Bay, Jay, and King Louis. My biggest win. Um, I do know that answer. I do. Give me a second here, actually. I don't know how to do this without screwing up the screen here, actually. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. I just have to pull something up here, and I will show you the chart again. Give me 1 second here, guys. Okay, chart's back up. My biggest, I actually have it recorded somehow, that's why. My biggest trade on small cap was $24,000. That was my biggest trade. Give me a second here. I'm going to see if I can share this with you guys, actually, or like share it on the screen. Give me 1 second, gang. I don't want to screw this up. Where is the thing? My apologies, guys. I'm like total noob here with OBS. You guys see that? You guys can see this, right? I'm just gonna wait to see if you guys can see this or not. Yeah? Okay. So yeah, this was like my biggest trade ever. And this was done on small cap. So this was like a $24,000 trade on HKD. This was the same trade that Stock Market Wolf took, actually. I remember this because I had taken the same trade, except the only difference was that I was trimming like crazy and he was holding the damn thing. And he obviously had a way larger size than I did. This was actually, I believe, don't quote me, but this was Stock Market Wolf's first $1 million trade ever. And he did it with small caps at that time. So this was a big deal for him. And it was also my biggest trade. So there was this one. And then my next trade after this was, actually, these are my biggest option trade. These were just some of them, I think, at the time. This was like back in the old days. Yeah, like 5,000, 5,000. Those were some of my bigger trades that I took. But yeah, those were like from an options perspective. Those were some of those. I think my biggest option trade was like 10 grand though. Like I'm almost 100% sure that was my biggest trade. There you go. There's my screen back. As far as payout goes, hold on. Let me just catch up in the chat here. My biggest. So I guess the question, deity, if you're asking for the biggest payout, like one-time payout, my biggest one-time payout has to be Apex. And so I posted about that before on YouTube and on my Instagram. I took a singular account. So because I don't copy trade, I took a singular account all the way to the very end. So I grew that account. So I took $2,000 payouts along the way because it was a 50K account. And I took my 6 payouts that you're allowed to take. And at the very end, I took my 80K payout. So in total, it was about 90K over the course of the account's lifetime. But my one-time payout was an $80,000 payout on one singular account with Apex, and it was a 50K trading account. All right, what's we trying to do here? So we're up in this area that I mentioned earlier. Interesting pullback. So usually this is something that I like. If this was any other given day, I'd be willing to scalp like a short. But we're just such a strong uptrend, man. I don't feel comfortable like shorting this at all. 19 minutes till the market opens for London. How are we looking right now? Let's see here. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we get a little bit of a pullback off the London Open here based on how we're shaping, but we'll see. I wouldn't get my hopes up. I know. I might do a little bit. So technically I'm supposed to stop at midnight just because like, I mean, it's obviously for me, it's like a super, super, super long day. But I'm going to see. I might stream maybe a few minutes after London just to see what London does. AJ, where are you from? I forget. Because I'm like, what time is it for you, man? Oh, so you're same time zone as me then. Gotcha. Ron, man, seriously, when do you sleep? I think it's crazy that Ron is still up. Those who don't know, like Ron actually like takes care of his health. He works out. So I have no idea how this man's gonna hit the gym when he sleeps at like this late into the night. Crazy. Crazy. I'm glad we bring value to you, man. I think that's the reason why we kind of picked this time slot too, because I think that like this session is probably fairly untapped right now. So we're hoping to provide value to everyone, all those individuals on the other side of the world, man. Singapore, Singapore is hot, man. Singapore is hot. There's a few people here that are, I think if that Jake Chan's the same Jake Chan I'm thinking though, he's from Singapore. There's a lot of people that I know that are there too. It's just the food's good though, man. It's the hawker scene, man. Everyone's all about that. But for me, I don't do well with heat. And so I find that like if I'm really hot, I don't have the appetite to eat. So because it's so hot, I remember when I was in Singapore last year, I barely ate. Like I drank a lot. Like coconut water and like juices and like I drank so much when I was in Singapore. I didn't even eat much because I was so freaking hot. And honestly, when I walk around and I see people walking around in suits in Singapore, it was like crazy, crazy. I believe you, Jake. I believe you, man. I could not live there. It's too hot for me, man. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. So what are we looking at here, guys? Does anyone here scalp? I'm kind of curious. Are there scalp traders on the chat right now? I do trade on the phone once in a while, but I don't advise against it. I find that most of my worst trades come from trading on the phone. some scalp traders, some scalp traders. Yeah, it's fair, man. It's fair. When it's like when you have like ranging action, there's definitely some value for scalping the markets, right? Those are two 15-minute bearish candles. It's all good, David. I've been trading for 5 years. Started with small caps. Although I started 5 years ago, I want to say that I didn't start taking this seriously until 3 years ago, because it really wasn't until I took Jake's mastermind that I took this game seriously. Because prior to Jake, I was just kind of dabbling with things, and I was just looking at random discords and all this other stuff. Jake is when I officially took it seriously and learned the craft, and then from there, as all of us do as traders, right? We refine our systems, right? We refine, we take what we like, and then we evolve based on our personalities. And I say this a lot actually as well. I actually said this in one of my first ever podcasts, virtual podcasts that I had ever been on. I made the comment that I find that trading systems and mentors are kind of like speed dating, right? I think that it's just because it works for one person, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for another. But in the same time, it doesn't mean the system doesn't work. So I know I've seen people before who say like, "Oh, this system doesn't work, that system doesn't work," and to be perfectly honest, I mean, like, maybe there's just some validity that it doesn't work at all. But I find that more often than not, it's just it needs to suit the personality, right? Like, for example, like Jake has the ability to hold the trade for like 9R, 8R. Like he has it in him to do that. I don't. Like I know I don't. Like, so I'm not gonna try to be Jake, right? So for me, I've refined in a way where, like, okay, what am I comfortable with, right? Because if I want to be a sustainable long-term trader, it has to fit what I want in the end of the day. So I think that, like, that's my take on things. So I'm sure you're gonna find a lot of strategies on the internet. Whatever works best for you, man. I sleep for 5 hours a day pretty much. And I cognitively am functioning at a high level through my waking hours, because yeah, I probably should do a day in the life of Alan, but the amount of work that I do, I'm always on phone calls. I'm talking to clients, talking to restaurant owners, building business plans, executing plans, market analysis, all that type of stuff. And all of that happens outside of being a dad, a husband, a son, and a trader, right? So, but yes, my students also know I take a lot of pride in time that I work with them, right? So when I have thanks, Baljeet. When I have like one-on-ones with students, like, my students know that it means a lot to me. But they also know, like, don't as students, they also know to take it seriously too. Like, they don't book time with me willy-nilly. They treat it seriously because they know my time is scarce, so they don't want to waste my time either, right? I don't take any natural supplements, but you know what? Honestly, I probably should, because I am getting older. And I definitely don't feel as young as I once did. These days, I just try to eat a little bit better. Like, I still eat the food I like, but like how I start my morning, I like to start my morning with like a banana, for example, just because like I like the potassium, and like it's a nice light breakfast, just because I find that I don't do well enough. So, how old am I? AJ, you don't ask. No, just kidding. I am 34 now. 34, turning 35 this year, I think, actually. Yeah, I'm getting old. I know I'm not that old, but still, I feel old though. My body feels old. When I was young, actually, when I was younger, working in the restaurants and stuff like that, people always thought that I was in my mid 20s, and I was like, I'll take that as a compliment, because I was like 19 years old at the time. But yeah, no, I feel older than I am. So managing market cycles, every single day, every single week, every single month, I assess the chart. I assess the chart. I take a look at where price is. I pay attention. I think about where are we and why are we here? Like, is there any economic things that are factoring into this, right? Is war happening? Is there no war? Is there resource issues around the world? Like, all these type of things, right? Like, they play a factor in it. But I think what it comes down to, whether it's bullish or bearish, it comes down to market cycles of, like, in a sense of like structure, right? What, structurally speaking, has structure shift? Has it not? There's so many facets, but that would be kind of like my, like, straightforward answer to your question. I appreciate the compliment. You just can't see on camera that I'm old. You know, the camera helps me save a few years. You don't see the wrinkles. No. If I could trade one setup and one session, what would that be? So I would say that, if I were to trade, so this really depends. I have to really think about this. It really depends because the sessions have changed so much. When I first started trading Asia session, guys, like on average, it would move like 60, 80 points. Like the entire session would move 60, 80 points. So nowadays, since Trump's been in power, I mean, we get 100-point days, 200-point days, like it's nothing. So it's different, right? But I think over the overall cycle of trading Asia, I have historically taken scalps more than anything because of the conditions that we're playing within. So for me, I often will I'll use some sort of a reference point, whether it's a level or area of interest. And if I have some confluence with an indicator while doing so, I'll generally take some sort of failure to go lower or failure to go higher off of those spots. And I would shoot for like 15, 20 points. And those would be kind of like my go-to setups over the Asia session. Hey, Carrick, man, 37, starting brand new. It's never too late, man. It's never too late. I think I'm in the trading space, and I don't know this for sure because I don't follow a lot of people. But I think that I'm probably one of the older guys, just because usually like, a lot of people who start training and like get into the space and influencing, they're generally younger. Like they're generally younger. So, um, yeah, it's never too late, man. It's never too late. Damn, you just gave me a whole diet plan, brother. Thanks, dude. Yeah, we're young at heart. Mm. So to your question, when I talk about fail to go lower or fail to go higher, that doesn't necessarily mean reversals. So Leto made a very good point because I talk about this a lot, and Leto knows me fairly well. When I talk about reversals have great momentum and great opportunity, but generally they have lower probability. Sometimes, like for example, here, did we have a move here earlier today? I feel like I saw a 5-minute fail to go lower at some point. Where was it? Was it over New York? I don't remember where I saw it anymore. But like I'll give you an example, like this kind of a candle, right? Like I find that if I find that this candle forms at a higher low, I'll generally look to take that if I have confluence of a reference point and some other, maybe an indicator or something like that to kind of help build on the confluence for me. I'd be more than happy to take that setup. That's kind of what I mean by that failure comment earlier, Leto. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't follow the social space enough, so if there are other older people, then yeah, I not aware. I'm obviously not on social media enough. For just perspective, guys, I didn't even have an Instagram 2 years ago. Like I just started using it recently, like not too long ago, and started putting stuff out there. Hence why my content is very like dry and like non-edited, or like not well edited, I should probably say. And same thing with YouTube, man. I started my YouTube like 13 months ago, so I was not using social media much prior to this. Even like Discord, I'm very like illiterate when I'm using Discord. Not the best. All right, guys, 6 minutes left to open here, and we are hovering the spot right now. I have 3 trading screens on for the same futures because I look at multiple time frames. I have the 2, 5, and the 15-minute time frame up. Yeah, that could be one, Leto. That could be one, yeah. Oh, actually, a buddy of mine made that soundtrack for the YouTube intro. Yeah, I know. I was like, it was pretty cool. He actually asked me what I kind of liked. I'm like, I really like Avengers, I like Marvel. And so like we kind of, if you watch the Marvel movies, at the intro of the movie, there's like a flickering of like the different scenes from Marvel as it kind of shows the Marvel sign. That was kind of the inspiration behind my intro for YouTube, actually, because I'm a big Marvel nerd, by the way, guys. Like I love the movies. Yeah, yeah, it's the 2 minute, 5 minute, and 15 minute time frame. That's what I got there. Do you use SMT? What is SMT? Can you educate me on that? Is that like smart money something? Is that what that is? I feel like I've heard that before, but I don't know what SMT is. Oh man, don't put me on the spot like that, visionary. Best movie. Damn, that's hard, bro. That's hard. I actually like. I feel like every Avenger, I have like a movie that I kind of like and why I enjoy it. So it's kind of really tough, man. It's kind of really tough. I know some people like hate a lot of some of the newer movies. I mean, I don't hate all the newer ones. Like I actually didn't mind Multiverse of Madness. I enjoyed that actually more than I think most people did. But that's part of it's because I like the storytelling of like how important that movie was to connect other movies together. So I have not. I have not. To be honest, as much I love Marvel movies and stuff, but ever since I had kids, I am so behind on watching stuff. So I got to get back on it. Yeah, I agree with you, Kenny Bobek. Ah, Leto. See, you're smart. You knew that better than I did. Yeah, Divergence. No, I don't look at that stuff. Victor, no, I trade futures, options. I trade both. I could trade small caps as well. I don't anymore because there's just too many things to trade, and life is busy enough as it is. But I can trade all of them technically speaking. But I primarily trade futures now, and I dabble in options. Usually, what happens is I trade futures during Asia and London, and then I trade options during New York, since I can't trade to options any other time, anyways, right? So I do not smoke weed like Jake. I don't do anything actually. It's a little bit of kind of how I grew up, and there's a deeper reason behind it. I have no issues with people. Like I have people in my life that smoke cigarettes, cigars, weed, all that stuff. No shot to that at all. But I myself, I have my reasons for why I don't do it. And then also I can't and even for drinking wise, I even though I have a collection of Macallan Scotch, I can't really drink either because I'm actually allergic to alcohol, believe it or not. So yeah. Yeah, I really liked the Loki show. That was actually a really good show. Um, yeah, I mean, I understand the whole weakness between indexes because, like, I mean, when I used to trade Tesla, right, I would usually trade like, we talk a lot about this a lot in our Discord, relative strength and relative weakness, right? So I can understand the value in doing so. I try not to just because there's so many things to look at, and based on how I trade already, I don't need more things to add to it because at some point it becomes paralysis by analysis, right? So entering time frame wise, I enter on the 2 and 5 minute time frames. That's usually what I enter it off of. But I don't just base my decision off of that time frame. I just enter off of those time frames. So I usually look at multiple. Hence why I usually have multiple charts up at the same time. Opening up in 1 minute, gang. Let's see what we do here. How are you allowed to trade? Can you elaborate on that question, Victor? I don't really understand the question. I trade futures over London, but I don't trade stocks per se. The futures you are looking at is just for London, like London session. Is that what you're referring to? Oh no, yeah, I only trade the NQ. When I trade futures, I only trade the NQ. I don't trade anything else. Yeah, no problem. No problem. If I ever miss your question, guys, feel free to ask again, right? Like there's so many people asking questions, and sometimes I'm doing other things as well, so I'll miss the questions right as they come. This is a softer London Open than I was expecting. It's gold looking. Gold literally is like hasn't moved. Look at this. Usually this type of setup, like the way that we're forming here and the way that we're kind of like, I don't want to say dying out here, but usually I would be open to like scalping a short on this if we had volume for it too. But yeah, nothing looks good. Yes, sir. I don't pay attention to news, but I obviously have to account for it in some way or form. So like if like I think what's important when I look at news is that like if it's just like say Trump said something, that's not really true news for me. I think that if what he says has longer term impacts, like maybe the cost of oil or the cost of goods in general increasing over the course of a period of time and yada yada yada, which can affect import and export for longer periods of time. That type of economic news would probably be more worthy to account for in a trade, but like otherwise it's hard. I don't play with news a lot, to be perfectly honest, right? But that would be my best answer. This is that short scalp trade I was talking about for NQ. Yeah. These bars are just too small right now, man. It's like tough. Like you're basically scalping for like 10, 15 points if you are. Not that it's a bad thing. You could totally do that, but what bank do I trade with? I don't trade with any bank. If you're talking about brokerage, then it'd be Tradeovate. Tradeovate's what I use. I just mean that like because of the way that price is forming right now, if we get enough volume to come in, like activity and participants, then there's enough price to move, right? So it'll give me a better indication of are we just kind of like drifting away here, or do we actually have participants who want to push price down, right? Yeah, one little thing that I would say, Eric, with that question is like um abundance mindset. How would I go about this? I would say that, I think just writing things down. You know, they talk about self manifestation. It's a real thing. I think I mentioned this on yesterday's stream as well, but what I like to say is that like remind yourself that you have so many bullets that you can spend. And so when you know the market's running 22 to 23 hours a day, you have a lot of time to take, right? To go at the market. Um, you're welcome, Baljeet. Um, so in the end of the day, right, like you can take a look and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to take these three objects here, and these objects are going to represent the bullets in my chamber, right? And then if you take a look at it, like you just got to remind yourself, like, if today's not the day, you have tomorrow. If you have tomorrow, you have another day. Like you almost need to just like write down for yourself that there is more than just today, right? And also, I talk about this a lot when it comes to trading identity. Like I don't think it's good if you tie your entire identity to trading. And why I say that is because like if I have a bad trading day today, it shouldn't ruin my entire day. It shouldn't, because there are other aspects of my day other than that, right? And I've said this plenty of times before as well. Like I am a I am a father, a husband, I am a son, I am an entrepreneur, a mentor to corporate people, business owners, traders, all that type of stuff, right? So I think that when you tie yourself to it too much, that can also affect your ability to look further than what's in front of you. Tickers, I usually trade the NQ primarily, but I can trade gold as well once in a while. To be perfectly honest, we can trade anything, but like just for preference wise, I like the NQ the most. By the way, this forecasted box is just giving you an idea of like what my short trade would have looked like had I shorted this. No, I don't really have any videos specifically touching on that. If you go on my YouTube and you watch the MNQ series, it does show it shows you me taking entries, like how I manage the stop loss and stuff like that. Like that would be the closest thing to it. A lot of people have watched that have found a lot of value in that, so probably that would be a good place to start. Yeah, yeah, fatigue. I mean, you get fatigue just staring at a chart. To be perfectly honest, man. I think you kind of have to like yeah, this is what I mean, but you have to be passionate about it, man. Like you have to love what it is that we do for us to do this. Like it's hard to do it otherwise, right? I probably will log off soon though, because yeah, it is getting late. I mean, I got to be up in 5.5 hours here, so I can't stay up for much longer. But yeah, I mean, like if you have any other questions, guys, feel free to fire away. I'll be shutting this down real soon here. So, and if you guys aren't already, I'll drop it here in the chat box for you guys. That's my YouTube, just so if you guys want to watch those videos that we were talking about earlier. And then this is my Instagram. Yeah, I post a lot on Instagram. So like in terms of like life, business, food, you name it. That's where everything goes. And don't worry, I'm not constantly like talking about my lifestyle and stuff like that. Like I'm not an influencer, believe it or not. I know that just because I have an IG and I'm trading doesn't mean I'm an influencer. I'm not. I just love sharing my passion for food, family values, traveling, eating, and even traveling is very like seldom. I'm not even talking about like the big things. It's in the end of the day, my traveling talks about food. So futures, you could trade pretty much 5.5 days a week, give or take, I guess you can kind of say. 5.5 days, I think, if I'm saying that right. No, like they're 23 hours a day. There's always like or 22 hours? I think it's 22 hours a day, actually. 22? No. Depends on the prop firm. Technically, it's 23, but I think prop firms usually cut you off sooner than that. How's the indicator's performance? I don't understand the question. Nice. Good work. Good work, Express. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate the kind words, man. All right. Well, you know what? I'll give you my thought points before I log off here. I know my feed doesn't have enough food. I really probably should. People have been asking me to do like food reviews, but I feel weird and wrong because it's like I obviously help a lot of entrepreneurs run their businesses too. So I don't know. I feel like sometimes it could be a little bit of a conflict. That's why I don't do it. But maybe I'll keep that in mind, Ron. So right now, guys, here's my final thoughts here. We're in the end of the day, we're uptrending. I think that if we're shorting, we got to manage our expectations. The way I'd look at it, and this is the reason why I like using the VWAP and stuff like that, is because if it's not structure, then I'll look at the VWAP. And if there was going to be pullbacks, I'd look to see how we pull back into structure or pull back into VWAP. And so right now you can already see here like this piece of structure here. This is where we're holding right now, and you can see it already, right? So I would see that if we can lock in another kind of higher low here for longs for continuation. Otherwise, I would see if we wait and see how we react and tap at the 200 EMA and the VWAP down here before we take a continuing long. And even so, that would kind of be my 2 cents. It would be hard to short this. I'm not saying that there aren't short opportunities. I'm just saying that if I was to short, I'd keep them fairly small in terms of my targets. Whereas longs, I'd be a little bit more comfortable letting them run a little bit more. The screen on the left. Are you talking about my TV over here? Is that what you're talking about? Not sure if you're referring to that. That's just another screen. My command center is crazy. I should probably do a video of this actually next time. I'll post on Instagram. You guys can see what my setup looks like. I know some people think I'm kind of crazy. I call it a command center for a reason. Yeah, anyways, those are my he's just looking at the PNL tool on the chart, I assume. PNL tool. Oh, this? Oh. No, I'm not in a trade right now though. But that's just I was just giving a hypothetical of like how I would have like managed a short trade. It would have been like this. Oh, got it. All right, guys. I mean, I think that puts it to a close. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't put it to close. I have one more account to give away. So, with the viewers that we got going on right now, which means less competition because I think there's less viewers at the moment, I am going to do a last giveaway here. So I want you guys to spam the chat here, guys, again, and I will give away another account. Let's go. Let's drop it in. Let's drop the chat, spam it up. What do we got? Do a 5-second countdown here. Alrighty. All right, I got a name. Oh. All right, I got a name for the winner here, guys. There's the winner. You get the tag. DM me on Instagram. DM me on Instagram. I'll copy my Instagram here again in case you guys don't know where it is. There you are. That's my Instagram. Reach out to me and I will send you the code for that account as well. Thanks so much, guys, tonight for tuning in. I am doing this again tomorrow night, I think. Today's Thursday. Yes, I'm doing this tomorrow night again. So I got one more night before the weekend, and then I'll be back at it again next week. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. You guys have a wonderful night. Please trade safe. Signing off.